In this video, we're going to look at how we solve simultaneous equations, and we're going to use an elimination method. So what I want to do is to check the coefficients of the x terms and the y terms. And what I want to do is to get the same coefficient for the x or for the y. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to label this first equation, number 1, and label the second equation, number 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the same coefficient in front of the x terms. Now it doesn't matter if you choose the x or the y, you will end up with the same answers anyway. To get the same coefficient, what I want to do is to multiply equation 1 by this coefficient, and then multiply equation 2 by this coefficient. And I'm going to write down what I'm doing here. So I'm going to take equation 1, and I'm going to multiply it by 5. So when I do that, 3x multiplied by 5 is 15x, plus 5 multiplied by the 2 is 10, so we've got 10y. And then 5 multiplied by the 7 is 35. And I'm going to call this equation 3. I'm then going to take this second equation here, so equation 2, and multiply it by this coefficient, so 3. And when I do that, 3 multiplied by the 5 is the 15, so 15x. We are subtracting. 3 multiplied by the 3 is 9y. 3 multiplied by the negative 1, that's negative 3. I'm going to call this equation 4. So if I take equation 3 and equation 4, we can see we've got the same coefficients here. And if I subtract one from the other, that will eliminate the x terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take equation 3. I'm going to subtract equation 4. Now what I like to do is I like to write the negative here to remind me that I'm subtracting. I also like to draw a line here. So the 15x, subtract the 15x, obviously that eliminates that, so that's 0. We have 10y, and we are subtracting negative 9y. Well, this negative here and this one will make a positive. So I've got 10y plus 9y, which is 19y. I've then got 35. I'm subtracting negative 3. Again, I've got this negative and this negative, so that's a positive. 35 plus 3 is 38. If 19y is 38, we divide both sides by 19 to get that y is equal to 2. So this is our first answer here. We've got the y value. Now what I need to do next is to substitute this y value into one of these equations. And I'm going to choose number 1. It's got the lowest coefficients. There's no negative signs anywhere. It's probably going to be the easiest to use. So I'm going to substitute y equals 2 into equation 1. Okay, well, I've got the 3x plus 2 multiplied by y, and obviously y is 2, so 2 multiplied by 2, and that is equal to 7. Simplifying this, we have 3x plus 4 equals 7. I can then subtract 4 from both sides, and doing that would give me 3x is equal to 3. Dividing then by 3 on both sides, so divide by 3 and divide by 3, we'll get that x is equal to 1. Now that I have both my answers, I've got my pair of answers, x is 1 and y is 2, I should substitute those back into equation 1 and 2 and just check that it works. So we have x is 1, so 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 2's is 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. 5 multiplied by 1 is 5. Subtract 3 2's is 6, so 5, subtract the 6 is negative 1. So therefore, both of my answers are correct.